this. Very small changes to precise paths to take while driving. This new mushroom spot meant there was now more time to save over the lap record. Matthias had a realistic shot at getting it. And by October 2015, he had done it. Matthias had beaten Lacey on both the 3-lap and lap records. Two of the most problematic world records were out of the way. Now, all he had to do was keep riding to pick up the rest. On November 20th, 2015, Matthias posted his 5th record from the past month, a 27.68 lap on Mario Raceway. That meant, for the first time in history, a player had reached 31 out of 32 possible records. The only record he was missing was Moo Moo Farm Lap, the 27.82 by TJL. It was the only record in the game he had never held before, and we've already gone over how much he struggled with it in the past. But now that he didn't have any other records to worry about, Matthias could focus all his efforts there. The A1A was on its last legs. They had put up a good fight for the past several months, but eventually Matthias alone had been able to outmatch all of them. Matthias is a really nice guy, and nobody in the Alliance had anything personal against him, but hardly anyone wanted to see someone hold all 32 records at once. It would be an embarrassment.
Whoa, my god, the mouse turn.
Matthias said in a forum.
For those of you who are wondering what that is, my mouse, I need to get like a new mouse and keyboard, bro. My mouse, every like, I don't know how often, maybe every hour or something, I don't move my mouse, but the cursor will shift to the right really hard. If I was in third person, that wouldn't matter because it just makes my mouse go to the right. But when you're in shift lock, it turns your camera, especially like mid jump, like I was. That can make you fall.
That's how far ahead his records were. And sure enough,
say I'm making it up, but I'm not, because there's literally no reason I would do that. Like, you literally just saw my camera just turn. There's no reason I would do that.
A new record was posted. This is Abney317. He's one of the best in the world at Mario Kart 64, but his area of focus isn't with non-shortcut records. Instead, he's held dozens of shortcut records and the coveted 150cc large skip speed run record for years. But he's had the skill to take some non-shortcut records too. And on November 22nd, 2015, he came to the community's rescue. A 2:12.61 on Bowser's Castle, a new record by 7/100ths of a second. Abney went after this record in particular because it was one of Matthias's oldest records, being more than 2 years old. Quality of play had gotten slightly better since then, so Abney perceived it as weaker than most of Matthias's other records. And apparently he was right. He was able to use different paths around the thwomps to go faster. But unfortunately for him, that also meant that the very next day, Matthias was able to beat Abney's record to get back to 31 out of 32. All he needed was to shave 900ths of a second off his Moo Moo Farm lap to get to 32 out of 32. He was so close.
Oh my, I hate myself. Why am I ladder flicking, dude? I don't need to do that. I'm being stupid.
It was Abney to the rescue again, this time on Calamari Desert 3-lap. This record wasn't nearly as old as Bowser's Castle. It was set only a week prior, but it was unoptimized. Just a month ago, a new strategy called hill hopping was first used by a player known as Dotman. By hopping off the hills on the sand at specific points, you get more airtime and don't slow down nearly as much as normal. Abney used this to his advantage, and for the second time in just 2 days, he was able to stop Matthias dead in his tracks at 31 out of 32. But that wasn't enough to feel safe. Matthias could casually pick up new records seemingly whenever he wanted, and Abney didn't have as much experience with non-shortcut records. So, just to be safe, Abney figured he should probably go on the attack. Abney was actually standing up to Matthias. He wasn't just looking to defend his own records. He was actively looking to take records he didn't have. And it was working. During one crazy stretch in January 2016,
oh wow, the mouse turned again.
he set 4
Why?
new records in 5 days. It put Matthias
It
down
does
to
not ever
27
happen
out
that
of
often.
32.
Like within a,
His lowest total.
what is
in
that,
months.
5-minute span or something?
Abney had once again proven that
Where am I
Matthias
going?
was
Down there.
beatable. But as always, Matthias came back to racing later that month, 4 records down from where he was just weeks prior. But rather than be intimidated by what Abney had just done, he saw 4 records that were well within his abilities to beat. 2 of them were on long courses with room for optimization, Wario Stadium and Rainbow Road. Because of Matthias' ability to take just slightly better lines and optimize his driving, he knew that there was room for improvement over Abney's record. And he was right, picking them both up in a matter of weeks. The other 2, Calamari Desert and Bowser's Castle, each had new strategies that Matthias hadn't implemented yet. The hill hopping on Calamari Desert, and different thwomp paths on Bowser's Castle. Once he did, 2 more quick world records, putting his record total right back to 31 out of 32, his 3rd time achieving that total. It was miraculous how he could do this. If someone took Matthias' records, he would just immediately grind to beat them back. People could temporarily beat him, but he would always prevail in the end. The one exception, of course, was Moo Moo Farm. For the 3rd time, he just needed that one record to get 32 out of 32. And for the 3rd time, Abney took the chance away from him. It was Calamari Desert this time, beating Matthias by 0.06 of a second. Matthias only had the chance to grind Moo Moo Farm for about 12 hours, because that's how long it took Abney to get the record. That made it 3 times that Matthias had made it to 31 out of 32, with just Moo Moo Farm standing in the way, only to be stopped by Abney at the last minute. Just remarkable. Matthias typically plays less Mario Kart in the summer, so in the middle of 2016 he took a step back from the game. Who could blame him after coming so close that many times? So, for several months, he didn't make any progress in his quest for 32 out of 32. The summer came and went. By October, he came back. And when he did, this is what he saw. Dan had just made a major statement. Matthias was down to just 24 out of 32 records, his lowest total in 3 years. This is what the community was capable of doing in just a few short months, if Matthias wasn't there to aggressively defend his records. In the past, Dan had focused his world record efforts on Frapp Snowland and Mario Raceway. But since he had the time, in mid-2016 he got a lot better at other courses too, and picked up records on courses like Wario Stadium and Yoshi Valley. Again, it was nothing revolutionary, just learning the right lines to take, how to take each turn.
Oh, gotta love
and
it.
other small
Visible
driving
platforms, dude.
mechanics. But regardless, the end
Amazing.
result
Great
was there.
design. Great design.
Matthias was far away from perfection, and it seemed like maybe, just
I could have
maybe,
jumped there, but
the community could take it easy and not have to worry about 32 out of 32. But then, in October, Matthias did this.
Yes! 2:12.67. Clutched it with a cave. What a cave putt. Yes! 23! Can you believe it?
Over the course of just 4 weeks in October 2016, Matthias set 7 new world records.